What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite pond, the Coy Pond, episode 116. As you guys can see, we're back in the studio this week, joined by my wonderful, splendid co-host, K-Dog.
Woo! Nice to be back with you.
Always a pleasure to be back in the studio. As you guys know, you can find us here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and never forget to leave a question on SpeakPipe. Only a couple weeks left of football, but you know what? We're doing the podcast year-round. There's never a bad time to leave a question featured on the podcast. And Christmas is done, but Easter's right around the corner. Don't forget to pick up some Coy Pond merch at the store link in the description. Tons and tons of things to buy from.
Also, a perfect gift for that loved one with Valentine's Day coming up in February.
That's a better one.
And you know, it's just what she would want. So
I think you're right.
Yes.
I don't see anybody else wanting anything else for Valentine other than a beautiful piece of Coy Pond merch. Nevertheless, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Appreciate all the support. And we are done with the playoffs, essentially.
Wow.
The next game, in a couple weeks, kind of a week and a half from now, is the Super Bowl. Played at Levi Stadium between the Patriots and the Seahawks. We finally made it to the worst time of the year where there's one football game left.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
Crazy.
We somehow get Seattle in there from the West Coast.
Yes.
Short trip from them down, right?
It feels like that could be a nice little bonus for them, a place they're very familiar with playing even.
And the legendary Tom Brady's New England Patriots make a trip out to, I think he lives...
Oh, does he live in Cali now?
He lives close in San Francisco there now. So
it would make sense.
So his Patriots are coming to his hometown. So
yeah, and you know what's even funnier is, you know, at the beginning of the season, I know for a fact on this podcast with Matt. Oh, shout out Matt, by the way. Thank you for coming in a couple weeks.
Matt.
But, hey, appreciate Matt. If you guys don't know Matt, go rewatch a couple of the videos. But
excellent insights as always from that guy.
Yes, and he's
very knowledgeable.
He's gotten pretty good on it too.
He's really good.
Nevertheless, the funny thing is, at the beginning of the season, we said the Patriots were going to be a dark horse. A lot of people. I said it with Matt. I said it with you. You look at that schedule before the season start. We said verbatim 9-2. They got close to that. You know, they didn't lose many games. We kind of called that part of it. We didn't think they'd probably make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
But here they are.
And,
you know, I stay by it that while they didn't have an easy path to the Super Bowl, 2 home games against terrible offenses mixed with a hurt quarterback in Denver.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. I don't want to make it sound like I'm discrediting those wins.
No.
At all. But, hey, what a way to get into the Super Bowl with Vrabel in his first year and Drake May's first full season as a starter.
We talked a lot, to your point, we talked a lot about how we liked the Mike Vrabel hire.
It's genius.
And how it just made complete sense for him to go home to New England.
Right.
And, my goodness, I mean, the fit, it just goes to show you some of these teams are looking at this, you know, and we'll get into the coaching carousel and all that stuff. But you look at things like John Harbaugh with the Ravens, who's had a lot of success for a long period of time, not really getting over the hump.
Yeah. No, he didn't get over the hump.
He did.
Well, once.
Yeah, but maybe not as much as they thought for the talent they had.
I would agree with that.
Same with, so I guess we would call them underperforming a little bit.
Yeah.
Same thing with Sean McDermott in Buffalo.
Yep.
Who never did make it to the Super Bowl.
No, plenty of opportunities.
Sustained success, long period of time. All these teams are seeing the Patriots go out and hire Vrabel. He comes in 1 year. He was a loser in Tennessee.
Yep.
We all know that it was the organization.
Right. A.J. Brown shipped out. A lot of situations.
And in 1 year at New England,
it's all
turned around. And so all these teams now are more impatient than ever.
It seems like that. You know, it feels like it's finally trickled from maybe college was a little bit like that. You know, I don't want to act like I pay that much attention, but it felt like over the last 3-ish years, there's a lot more of a carousel down there before. And now we're seeing that more in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's, again, like you said, not instant success doesn't buy tickets. And so we have Harbaugh gone, Tomlin gone, McDermott gone, Stefanski gone, all of these coaches that, you know.
Just crazy, right?
It's all only compared to yourself
on
how well they really are. And now you have Zach Taylor and Andy Reid as the longest tenured coaches in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which, you know, Bengals fans, I stand with you, fire Zach Taylor. But regardless of that, it's insane. It's insane how many coaches were let go.
Well, and you got to put more pressure again, not only Vrabel, but Mike McDonald in Seattle, who's basically an unknown.
Right.
That takes Sam Darnold, rotate some talent out of there, make some changes, and that team is tighter and playing better as a team than anyone in the NFL.
It's insanity because Mike Macdonald was a coordinator on the Ravens beforehand.
Was that where he came from?
I believe so.
I didn't remember that.
I didn't either. I saw it, and he was wearing a Ravens gear from a while back, so I think that's where he came from.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, he just kind of takes over the NFC West.
Yeah.
Maybe not take over because the 49ers have just been injury-ridden for 5 years.
Rams are still hanging there.
Yeah, fuck it. The Rams are still a great team. I'm not trying to say that, but they've been going to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, and they've been so consistent. I mean, and you and I talked about it before we came on the air. You know, my comment about the last podcast I was on, you know, the team usually the last week or two that gets hot is the one who kind of runs all the way and wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It could be further from the truth. This year, the Seahawks have been consistent as could be all season.
They
really all season.
Yeah, I know, and it's funny how you see, well, they take out Geno Smith, he goes to the Raiders with Pete Carroll, you see how that goes.
Yeah.
They bring in Sam Darnold, who overperformed with for the Vikings in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And now it's a completely different story. And that, I mean, the team is so complete that he can have, I think, a bad day.
Yeah.
And they would still be in it.
It really does. It reminds me of what had to be, I don't know if John Harbaugh, I think he was the coach when Trent Dilfer for the Ravens was the quarterback. Yeah. I think that was his Super Bowl win, if I remember. Maybe not.
I'm not too sure off the top of my head.
But there was a team that, you know, again, kind of like Sam Darnold, and you know, the NFL is different now. It's more pass happy than it was then.
Right.
But did just enough to get the team through. They had a great defense, had a good running game, and all that. You know, and here we are. It's, you know, and my goodness, I mean, look at DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence, the poor guy, you know, leaves Dallas with the Micah Parsons drama going on. You know, heads out of there. He was in Dallas for 10-some years, was a great player for Dallas, and in one season with Seattle gets to the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, those preseason comments where he was saying, you know, I'm not going to win a Super Bowl here.
Yeah.
And then to go to a Super Bowl this year after that transaction with the Seahawks is crazy work.
And to be an impactful player all the way through, and especially last week.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
pretty amazing.
And the only reason the Rams were even hanging in that game is because that cornerback Woolen had that crazy taunting penalty, which was hilarious. You know, it didn't cost them the game, but they got 7 off that.
Yeah.
Essentially that flag. And oh boy, if that game goes a different route and the Rams are in the Super Bowl, that is a loud fan base yelling at that poor guy. And he tweeted out something later. It was pretty funny, but oh man, that was almost bad.
Well, and like we say, I mean, we're as everybody knows that watches the show at all, we're Miami guys.
Oh yeah.
And
21-0.
And even ESPN said the Miami University. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
well, not everyone knows Miami of Ohio. Well, the real Miami.
Yeah, Miami University
was a school before Florida was a state.
Amen to that.
So that's how I judge it.
Ohio State the Buckeyes used to come to Oxford to play the Miami University. Pretty wild stuff. I mean, again, like Colin just said, Miami won their 21st consecutive game of the season last night, beating University of Massachusetts, I think.
UMass.
By 2 points. Again, another nail-biter.
I know, and that was, I think, the 10th largest attendance in Millett Hall ever. But it was like 9,400, 9,200 people there.
Yeah, like 96, I think.
Crazy.
But very, very cool. And so we transitioned back to pro football to say, you know, we were both rooting for Sean McVay.
Yes.
And also Chris Shula, who was at Miami University as well.
Yes.
Who's the D coordinator for the Rams.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But my gosh, special teams, man.
Those poor Rams.
Special teams. And they fired the coordinator to try to turn it around. And it was just so far gone that the mistakes just plagued them all the way to that last game.
I know. That's damning. I'm assuming Stafford will be back. We'll have to see what he decides to do, but that's just a crazy way to lose that game.
You know, I don't know if you looked at it or not, but Sean McVay has already been to like 2 Super Bowls, I think. Been to like 10 playoff games. And there's the next closest person that did it as young as he is to do it was at like 5.
Well, and I mean, it's wild because then they were talking about him retiring like a year ago, 2 years ago.
And I still don't understand what that was all about. There must have been some negotiation there.
Well, I mean, there was the same people saying Stafford's hurt, but in reality, he just didn't want to be in training camp.
Right.
So there was that whole, I think he had oblique injury or some injury. it's always crazy in the preseason because we have to remember these veteran quarterbacks are not going to show up for minicamp, training camp. They're going to show up when they want to, however long before the regular season starts.
But my gosh, the NFC West, with the Niners who somehow found a way to kind of hang in it until the end.
They really did.
Despite some
crazy injuries.
Incredible injuries.
No Warner, no Bosa.
The Rams, who had their challenges too.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Seahawks, who ultimately prevailed in the NFC. But, wow, the NFC West is just crazy.
Yeah. Cardinals got rid of their coach too,
obviously.
I mean,
they'll only get better.
They should only get better.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens to Kyler Murray this offseason because Jacoby Brissett seems to be running that. And who knows if he wants to stay there or not. That was just a colossal mess of an organization at the moment.
Yeah.
For a team that looks so good on paper going into the season, to have that season not amazing. But who knows?
Yeah.
And you know what? On that note, speaking of quarterbacks that underperformed, Shedeur Sanders making the Pro Bowl. We have to touch on this because we're a week before the Super Bowl. We don't want to give out picks and all that too early, but that is wild. I mean, the Pro Bowl doesn't matter. Sean Merriman, for the former Charger, had a great tweet about it saying basically, it means nothing anymore. And it really doesn't. As soon as they made it fan vote, I mean, you knew that people were going to start voting in just favorite players.
Popularity, yeah.
And then from there, it's like players will say they're hurt and not go. It means so much less than it once did.
It's ruined the whole concept. Yeah, and I agree.
The games are kind of fun to watch, but if it's just going to be games, let's just call it the NFL games and let whoever wants to go.
Right.
Because half the time, the players that don't want to go to get elected won't go anyway.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like they need to do something about that. Either go back, but you can't count on voting on another subject we'll talk on in a second. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, honestly, I don't watch the Pro Bowl. I don't think I've really cared about it in several years.
Yep.
If you're going to make mini games and make it, AFC versus NFC, do that. But, I kind of feel like you can stop with the fan voting and make it like every rookie gets an invite.
Yep.
And then whoever wants to go, first 100 to sign up, get in.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's so irrelevant now.
It is.
And it's just been they've struggled with what to do because it was a football game. People didn't want to get injured.
Yes, understandably.
It used to be in Hawaii. So the trip was kind of fun, I think, for the players and their families.
There was an incentive to make it more of an event for them and much more fun. And have, at that time, Sean Taylor coming over the top on a fake kick to deck the kicker. Yeah. And now it's two-hand touch football. Yeah.
And it was kind of cool to see, truly the great players play the great players, right? Mm-hmm. I liked seeing, after, for example, the Redskins beating the hell out of the Cowboys in the Super Bowl or the championship game, I enjoyed seeing Tony Dorsett run behind Russ Grimm from the Redskins. To see them on the same team.
The concept of it is amazing. Yeah. But in reality, it's no one wants to get hurt. No one cares about Orlando. You can go there anytime you want. Half them are in Cancun right now. Yeah. And it's like, there's no real reason. So we'll see what they do. I think there's 100 ways they could fix it. I think there's only one way they could screw it up, and that's by keep doing this.
Yep. So Bill Belichick, should we slide over to Hall of Fame?
Yes.
So I threw the hat on, the visor on, just for that reason.
Fair enough. Yeah. Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't even know how that's possible. So we can just say, Eli Manning is not getting in.
Yep.
He's got 2 Super Bowl wins.
Phillip Rivers won't get in by a mile.
And so Bill Belichick's got, 6 or 7 Super Bowl wins?
I want to say 7, and Tom Brady has the 8th with Tampa.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. They have a large amount of Super Bowls.
So there's just no way that the performance statistics are not there for Bill Belichick. So
what else would you have to do? I mean, that was the dynasty.
Does he have to play in the games?
He never started at a position.
And let me just throw this one out because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I say, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, I think anybody that appreciates NFL football, for someone to do it as well as he did it after watching the Chiefs struggle this year, even just to put it in perspective for someone that might be new, the Chiefs struggled for 5 years. The Patriots did it for 10.
Yeah, amazing.
It's incredible how there's not enough there. So if it's not statistics driven, who do you piss off? It's
got to be one of the voters pissed off about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick with a young girlfriend. Bill Belichick going to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Or someone had a burr up their ass because, and I I don't know how they decide who gets the power of the vote for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Release the rosters of who's voting.
But I know some of the names that have a vote, but how do you get that vote? What do they have to do?
Yes.
If they hold everybody else to a standard of supremacy.
Right. Who are they?
I
guess we do that too, but not to the our opinions don't have any effect.
Any effect at all. These are having impacts on lives, on careers, on legacies.
The legacy part.
This is massive. Sure. I mean, these guys work their asses off.
A lot of them put their bodies on the line.
Yeah.
You know what's coming out later.
And I just, how do those guys get? Hey, you want to be on the Hall of Fame voting committee?
Well,
because if it's like that, and you're dicking Bill Belichick, I'm sorry. That's just wrong.
That is messed up. And it's funny to think there might be some corruption inside the Pro Bowl voting, but Pro Bowl Hall of Fame voting. But it's like, I don't understand what else a player would have to do. As far as I'm concerned now, no other coach will ever get in until they win 9 Super Bowls.
So
8 or whatever.
Yeah, so answer me this. So if you're grading it on a scale, and it's not political or it's not with personal motivations, how is Jerry Jones in the Hall of Fame with 3 Super Bowl wins that happened over 35 years ago or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And Bob Kraft, who has 6, in the 10 years he got 6, Jerry Jones' team hasn't even been to a championship game. And yet Bob Kraft isn't even on the ballot.
I know.
So how does that make sense?
There's got to be some conspiracy against the Patriots, which I understand for how much we had to watch them in the Super Bowl over the course of 20 years. For them to do it again, of course. But it's just crazy to think that they're going to let that stop the integrity of what is the Pro Football Hall of Fame to some extent.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, plenty of great coaches throughout the eras. You can't grade them all, apples to apples because of how much the game has changed over the course of almost 100 years or 100 years of it.
Yeah.
But Bill Belichick surely is going to be the best one to come out of the 2000s, damn near.
Yeah.
To the first, however you want to say that.
Yeah, I just don't understand at all.
It's insanity. And I have a potential rule fix that I've thought long and hard about.
Let's hear it.
So everyone right now wants to be an NFL owner. I'd say a lot of people with that sort of stupid money that can go and buy a football team, a large majority, I'd assume, would love to own a team to be able to call theirs. And I'm willing to hear changes and amendments to this idea. What if we, every 10 years, or you have your owners, right? Obviously, this will never happen because the owners will never agree to give up their team. But what if you had a list of 32 people, billionaires, trillionaires, whatever there is out there, that signed up before the start of a certain block of time, 10 years, let's say, and said if any team that can't make a championship appearance in those 10 years has to get rid of their team and give it to someone else that will try harder, to create a cycle of competing effort to henceforth keep the team that is now an entity of the NFL and not their personal one. Obviously, the Packers would be unique because they don't have an owner, but
you're kind of talking about like term limits in politics.
You need
essentially.
If there's corruption, you need term limits. I think there should be maybe not 10, maybe that's not realistic, but over the course of however many years it's been, there's only been like 4 different teams in the AFC Championship.
Right.
I think you need 15 years. If your team doesn't make it to a championship, you need to sell the team and get out. You get bought out by that other person. They get the team. You get your immediate cash, or however they set that up, and you cycle it.
Yeah.
And then guess what? If you want it back in 10 years, if you're not 95, you'll be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But make it way less of a, and maybe there'd be some way that people would be like fantasy, so people start trading good players to other teams to say they'll get a stake, I'm sure. But at least then there'd be term limits and some sort of incentive to an owner for that team to do well, because it's turning into what it feels like everyone, there's only a set amount of owners that really want to win the Super Bowl, it feels like, every year.
It's true.
Head coaches make a difference, players make a difference. Sometimes you get lucky. That's just how it goes. But, you look at the Browns. For the love of God.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Have we not had enough? You look at the Falcons. They made it with Matt Ryan.
Okay.
So not the big deal. You look at the Titans, new stadium. They just got done with Vrabel. They're still trying to find a head coach.
They're a mess,
But they're a mess up front.
Yep.
And then you look at the Seattle. They did it again. You look at the Rams. They made it work after moving from St. Louis. Patriots back in it.
So it's a great point. And I thought about this as it was becoming clear to us. Becoming clear to us at the end of last Sunday night who was going to be at the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Which, again, talking about corruption, we knew from the beginning of the season.
Now, the graphic was
with the two guys in the very front of the whole thing toward the Super Bowl.
I do love the conspiracies about
what the fuck? Drake May and Sam Darnold?
It must have been that Oz or O's that did that. Have you seen that guy going around?
No.
I'll show you later.
Okay. But yeah, to your point, but the Seahawks and the Patriots, successful teams for a long period of time, have reloaded, changed coaches, changed quarterbacks, and are back again.
Yeah.
Already before the Browns, the Cowboys, the Chargers, name a team.
Yeah.
Are relevant again.
Exactly.
The only ones you can give a break to are probably the Eagles, the Chiefs, because they've had sustained success.
Yeah, you get a break to the Eagles and Chiefs. You give a break to the Bills.
Yep.
They've clearly been trying. You give a break to the Jaguars, who are on the way back up.
You're right.
Obviously, the playoff teams this year
Rams,
mixed in with other teams that have just missed the punch. Colts came back, had a great start to the season.
But those two teams reloading and the amount of time it's taken the other teams to still continue in mediocrity is ridiculous. Jerry Jones, if I may for 1 second.
Oh, yeah, by all means.
He already wants to spend $8 billion to renovate the stadium.
That's not an old stadium.
What did he call it? The most unique fan experience in football. I just was like, on Facebook, I said, can we just focus on winning, please? Nobody gives a fuck about fan experience if you suck.
Yeah, no one will show up if you suck.
Yeah, you're 8-9, you're 9-8, you changed the coach. Big fucking deal. Same old shit.
Yep, same old.
And it's just a marketing firm, a marketing team that happens to play football. That's all they are.
And I would love to see if when this old generation of current owners, if at any point they die, they might have already cured cancer and told no one, if they would be up for some sort of term.
They have.
Yeah, I would assume.
Totally.
But also, it would be
get phone calls.
And let me think. If I gave them 10 years, you have to make the championship. That gives you 20 teams on each side.
Yeah.
So everyone would have a chance, right?
Right, sure.
It'd be 2 on AFC, 2 on NFC each year, 20 total chances.
10 years, yep.
And there's 16 teams per side.
Yeah.
So over the course of 10 years, hypothetically, you should have enough time to rebuild.
Yep.
And make it once.
Yeah.
And if you're granted a great team due to whatever, you'll get it within the first 5. But I don't know. And of course, I'm just a salty Chargers fan at this point. But it does, and I don't have any gripes with Spanos. But there definitely does seem to be teams that try and teams that don't try. And I understand it is a business. That'll be preached till the end of time. But it's not a business.
Yeah.
It's a entertainment sport league that makes billions of dollars.
Yep.
It can be treated differently at this point. No one doesn't know about the NFL. You don't have to treat it like it's the 50s and this is still emerging.
Yeah.
It's, every team is building a new stadium. Yeah. Every team is into some other sort of field of business that the owner got rich in. It's like every team has the same market cap and can figure out how to win. And I don't know. I feel like there'd be a better way to do that with owners, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not going to act like I know anything about what goes on behind the scenes. But
I like your thinking, though. It's innovative. Try to get these fat cats off the center and what they're doing.
Yeah, and of course, that'd have to be decided by both the commissioner and the owners, and that'll never happen.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting if someone were to somehow implement that.
Yeah.
I don't know. But as long as you're getting your cash for the team's value at that time, you would think they'd be trying a lot harder.
You would think.
But I'm sure they'd find out a way to fix that, too.
No doubt.
I mean? There'd
always a loophole, a way around. Yep.
Team evaluated at more than $10 billion.
Winning means you had to be 9-8.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Some shit like that.
Oh, Lord.
So depressing.
It really is. But, it's mock draft season.
And so the Senior Bowl starts up. You're right.
Yes.
Great point. I think that's going on this week, actually.
I thought I saw some stuff about it. Maybe some screenshots or something like that.
Yep. So, we had all the bowls. We wound up with Miami and Indiana, which was a great game.
That was awesome to watch.
Fire up the prospect rankings and mock drafts. Yep. So it's going to be interesting. Lots of great talent again.
I guess hypothetically, Mel Kiper's crash out about Shedeur Sanders, he is a Pro Bowl
Yeah.
Pro Bowler.
So there you
Hey,
go.
Mel Kiper, way to go.
Nice job.
You called that one, bozo.
The hair wins again.
What a call by you. Sanders' boy made it to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, my goodness.
It's so funny.
What else we got?
I'm trying to think. Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's talk that. 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like a week and a half at this point. But why not talk a little bit Super Bowl? Patriots at Seahawks. I immediately put 5 units on the Seahawks to cover 4.5. I altered that down to 2.5. Early opinions, obviously. We'll have official picks for you next week. I'll come up with a list of stuff I like. I'm sure you might find a few things you like as well. But I'm going to say it again for the 4th time now. Well, no, not the 4th time. I thought the Patriots could beat the Texans. I don't know how the Patriots beat the Seattle Seahawks. Everything aside about the location, the weather, all that crap, the Seahawks have a complete team.
They do.
And I think, I don't discredit the Patriots for anything they've done. Their defense is crazy good.
Yep.
But so was the Rams.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks just played all sides of the ball way better.
Yeah.
And the Patriots have had a little trouble on the offensive line. The Patriots have had a little trouble getting their offense started.
Mm-hmm.
And now they travel farther than Denver to Levi Stadium, and I just think Seattle's going to be all over that. I think they've got hungry players on that team that want to win.
Yeah.
Not to say the Patriots don't, but even without Zach Charbonnet, I feel like the Seahawks will be able to use Kenneth Walker and figure out how to win that game.
I couldn't agree more with you. The Patriots struggled against, like you said, backup quarterback there in Denver.
Yeah.
Stidham.
Mm-hmm.
And Drake May is up and coming. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
They've gotten this far, which is remarkable.
Incredible.
And they're only going to get better.
Sadly.
But the one thing, Seattle is just such a complete team. And the one thing I can see coming, it'll be on the things that I will give you as far as maybe bets to place and things next week. But Rasheed Wallace is...
Rashid Shaheed?
Rashid Shaheed.
On the Seattle's kick returner?
Yeah. I would bet you dollars to donuts that guy has a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Super Bowls seem to be games where stuff like that happens.
The special teams kickoff and all that. Yep.
And I could totally see him. We saw the Patriots defense get exposed deep early by the Broncos on a deep pass. So it's either going to be a deep pass to him or it's going to be a kick return of some sort.
Right.
But I would put money on that guy scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl because it seems like it happens every year, something like that.
And they've got young players on the defense that are really good. And if anything, I feel like they were just caught lacking on Stidham in that moment.
Yeah.
I think they'll be prepared for Darnold.
Yeah.
What that looks like, I don't know. Because you have the offense for the Chargers that didn't know what coverage they were running, which was atrocious. Then you had Stroud, who looked like he was shaking in the game, which it was cold. And then you had Stidham that threw this deep pass down the field that was uncharacteristic and then threw an interception and had a fumble, and that imploded on itself. That was self-destruction, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how they look against Sam Darnold because that offense has just been finding a way to do it. Mm-hmm. And they have young guys, which means all the great things that are healthy and ready to play. I think Spillane might have went out of the Broncos game for a little bit, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yep.
But I am curious because you're going into that game knowing that Seattle put up 41 against the 49ers. They beat the Rams pretty handedly, aside from the one flag taunting. And now you have to go face them.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl in their time zone, in their division stadium. I don't know. I feel like the Patriots got so close this year, but I feel like there's too many holes on their offense to make it work. And Drake May's been making passes that I didn't expect him to make in the big moment. But I feel like that defensive line is brutally hungry.
Again, that team is just so consistent from top to bottom. And they kind of lull you in and then they hit you.
Now, can I be honest for a second?
I wish you would.
I am terribly scared because I've been on Seattle most of the season on damn near every week. I am dreadfully scared we have a Cam Newton Panthers versus Broncos moment. But I feel like the Broncos had DeMarcus Ware. They were a way more defensive team than offensive team.
I agree.
Even though the Panthers buzzsawed that entire NFC before they made it to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Never mind. But the Sam Darnold to pumpkin / not perform in the big game will certainly be a conversation this upcoming week, I feel like, about the game.
Yeah, the difference I would say is, because I'm remembering back to that Cam Newton. Cam Newton, he was just a unique talent. And it was almost kind of like Lamar Jackson, where they didn't know how to use him properly. And so, they kind of just put it on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And said, just go do it. And it's just too much on one guy.
Especially for the Super Bowl.
I think that Seattle...
Better coaching.
Yeah, way better coaching. And they know what Sam Darnold is.
That's true.
And they know how to use that asset appropriately.
True.
Between the running game, Njigba, deep passing game, and the defense that they have, I think they just understand the balance of all those things better than who was the coach of the Panthers then?
He just got Rule. It was oh my God.
Yeah, he was the Commanders coach.
Yes.
And he just got interviewed, I think, for the Titans job.
Oh my God, why am I forgetting his name?
He was a linebacker for the Bears when he played, but anyway,
I just in my head.
I just don't think he was the same kind of coach that Mike McDonald is.
I would agree with that.
Personally.
It definitely feels that way.
I can see it.
So
I can see it.
We'll have to see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Special teams for the Patriots has been pretty good. Their defense has been good. It's really going to come down to, can the Patriots put up as many points as the Seahawks?
I think so.
I'm kind of envisioning a race where it's like whoever gets to 28 first probably wins the game.
Yeah, and I think Seattle's going to get on them early. That's going to be a problem.
That's kind of been their MO.
I could see Seattle being up like 21-7.
Yeah.
To where the Patriots now have to do something they haven't really done and score a lot of points.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Drake May is going to have a big challenge that he hasn't had a lot of.
Yes.
So.
And, Puka was able to get open. Puka's a unique talent. Yeah. Stephon Diggs should be able to find that moment. Obviously, he's finally made it to a Super Bowl after 3 different teams, I think. Yeah. But, I don't know. There's just... Ramondre Stevenson's been really good in the playoffs this year. Henderson helps, take some of that pressure off.
You got Hunter Henry.
You have Hunter Henry.
Yeah, he's very good, as we know. He's a beast.
I mean, just notionally, I just don't see how the Patriots can keep up, if anything.
Yeah, I just don't think they're quite there yet. They're getting there. They're just not quite there.
It's going to be an issue for years to come.
I think Seattle is going to take it to them. That's what I think.
I think they're going to be, I agree.
And I think that even though the whole team is different, the coaches are different, ownership's the same.
That's true.
The city's the same. And if you don't think Seattle wants to avenge the Pete Carroll, Marshawn Lynch debacle, I think you're wrong. I think that whole place remembers that, and that team, I think Mike McDonald is going to really put that front and center.
I think you're right. And it's funny because Tyler Lockett missed their Super Bowl win. He was with the Seahawks, I think, for 15 years. He was drafted after they won the Super Bowl, and then left the year they made the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So he had just the worst stretch to be at Seattle over that course.
Yeah.
If he was a year later early, he would have been there, and he missed it perfectly.
And he's there now?
No.
He's not there now. Okay.
No, he went over to the Raiders, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Or he went from like the Titans to the Raiders or something like that. But he missed it.
Okay.
Poor bastard.
Huh.
Damn shame. But other than that, I think that's about all I've got for this episode.
That's it. I got one last Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah.
Real quick. You've seen it. The hat back here. Get Phil Collins voted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you could go out to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame website, fans can nominate. You can go out there and check a box on the official Hall of Fame website. And the vote is coming up, I believe, next week for the 2026 Hall of Fame inductees.
Ooh.
And Phil is way high on the list, so
Keep
we
him
can
up
just
there.
shove him over the top. That'd be great, so he can join the Hall of Fame as a solo artist. That'd be great.
Heck yeah. And on that note, lovely people, we will see you next week for the Super Bowl picks and our predictions officially after we do some more research. And we will see you all next week on the Coy Pond. Peace.